Hey guys, it's Riley, your gut brain holistic nutritionist. Today we're going to talk about the major thing about my business, which is the gut brain connection. This is what I focus on. This is my thing. I love it. So we're going to kind of go into detail how they're connected. So, there are two main ways that I'm going to talk about today, and there are also many indirect ways. But the two main ways are the enteric nervous system and the vagus nerve. Okay, so this might be hard to see in the video, but this is how the nervous system is organized. There's many different parts. So, of course, we have the central nervous system, the afferent going to the brain, and then efferent to the body away from the brain. So, um, the gut and brain are always talking bidirectionally, meaning back and forth. And so we have the autonomic part. That's mostly where the gut and brain kind of communicate, but there's many ways. So the autonomic is divided into that sympathetic and parasympathetic. So these are the same system, they're just opposite of one another. And then if you see on the far right, we have the enteric nervous system. Okay, we're going to come back to this. So, we're going to talk about the enteric nervous system. This is known as the second brain. This is where all the neurons line the gut. Their studies have shown that there's even 10 times more nerves in the gut than the actual spinal cord, which is crazy. So, the enteric nervous system innervates the stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And then, of course, there's many other nerve endings in the heart, diaphragm, different areas. So the enteric nervous system is where your microbiome is, okay, in the large intestine, your colon. And your microbiome actually creates most of the body's neurotransmitters and hormones. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Our little bacteria are living things. Some doctors even say that we are a shell supporting our bacteria, not the other way around. So our bacteria are super important. Again, they create a lot of things, a lot of functions for the body. And our enteric nervous system actually acts independently of the central nervous system. So it's its own functioning nervous system, our second brain. Okay, the vagus nerve is another way, kind of goes with the enteric nervous system, but it's so important that it deserves its own part. Okay, so the vagus nerve is probably the most important nerve of the body, definitely the most important nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system, but it has both sympathetic and parasympathetic actions. Okay, primarily we focus on parasympathetic vagus nerve activation. This is a huge part that's missing in many gut protocols. Even amongst doctors, the vagus nerve is highly overlooked. I have a video on that. I'll post the link above. So the vagus nerve goes all the way from the brainstem to the gut, also goes through the heart, lungs, spleen, many different organs. It is a huge nerve. So it actually secretes your digestive juices when it's working properly. Stomach acid, enzymes, bile, peristalsis, which is the contractions of the intestine to move food and stools through the system, and also the MMC, which is the migrating motor complex. The vagus nerve has a lot to do with the migrating motor complex. That's a huge thing in SIBO. I do have a video on SIBO as well. The migrating motor complex is kind of like a little sweeper in the small intestine to sweep up any remaining food, bacteria, debris, because it should be relatively sterile. Okay. And the vagus nerve is also huge in any anxiety, depression, bipolar, any mental disorders, even autism. There's a lot of vagus nerve therapies. There are very simple ones though. And again, I have a video on that too. I'll post the link. So just basic ones to activate the vagus nerve: gargling, gagging, humming, singing, chanting, a lot of throat stuff if you notice. Cold showers, yes, I know. There's also a specific eye exercise, very easy. There's also frequency therapy, okay? So the vagus nerve is super important. In my programs, I actually focus a lot on the parasympathetic rest and digest and the vagus nerve. Those are huge components of my gut brain map program. Okay, so it's not just nutrition. There are many different things involved in the gut. And I can tell you this video will be or the topics in this video are highly overlooked in any gut protocol. Okay. So there's also indirect ways. We talked about the two direct ways, but you can argue that the gut and brain are connected in many other ways. There's three that I narrowed down. So the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, that's a mouthful. Also the blood-brain barrier, that has to do with your intestinal permeability, leaky gut, and the immune system, right? Most of your immune system is in the gut. So there are many indirect ways. Let me know if you guys can think of any more that the gut and brain are connected. I'm sure you can argue many different sources. So I hope that helps you guys. So we talked again, little recap. So the enteric nervous system and the vagus nerve. If anyone asks you how the gut and brain are connected, those two answers are the ultimate answers. And then if you kind of look at your little nervous system map, you can see the different parts. And yeah, let me know if you guys can think of any more indirect ways. I hope that helps. And I would love to have your support. This channel is relatively new. I'm posting out new content as much as I can, at least every week or every couple weeks, hopefully more as I get more audience coming in. So show me your support. I'd really appreciate it, and comment below what you think. Bye. Thank you.